learning to coincide with nature. Now, when we look at nature, we start to look at it as essentially a force field of matter, which is taking form within a vibrational force. This vibrational force has the potential to connect us back to our true nature, our true originality. Why it does so is very, very, very fascinating. It has something to do to truth. The nature or the form of nature may be very much truthful to its existence within this reality. And it's this connection of truth which actually awakens us back to our connection. Because a lot of the time, for some reason, the human beings are disconnected from their true nature, and they're actually connected to this false identity, which we can call a psyche, or we can call the mind's paradigm. And it's not really living in harmony with its truth or with its true existence. If you look outside into nature, you'll often see nature just coinciding with its true self. It doesn't pretend it's something else. But there's something about human beings which they just don't get it. They don't get their true nature. And it's often we can all think why. But at least in my presence of existence, it's because the mind is being used as essentially a battery. To put quite simply, when we start to judge and criticize the true nature of ourselves, which is love, if we start to judge and criticize our true nature, and we do this every single day, we go against our true self, and we judge it, and we start to feel disgust, we start to feel examining doubt, examining, we could have done things better, we didn't quite connect, we didn't quite enjoy, we didn't quite, we feel just dissatisfied. Now, there's something very, 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 very important to understand, is that within the realm of true love, which we exist, we live within a realm of true love. Or at least the beat of the heart coincides with this realm. It coincides with it. So if we're not living or coinciding with this realm, we're coinciding with a different awareness. And we may be present or we may be existing within this reality, but depending on which force is actually being present within this reality dictates where we lie within the universal awareness or the truth within existence. So if we're living in this reality but coinciding with a very dark presence, or we're just feeling dark, we're feeling horrible, we're feeling angry, we're feeling suffering, essentially the heart, which is true to its nature, it's ultimately divine love. It's the gift from divine love. The heart is the gift from divine love, ultimately meaning that the heart is loving, and which is all that has and ever will love. And that the mind is essentially feeding off this force. Or it's not necessarily the mind which is feeding off this force, but whatever frequency or whatever energy or whatever force is manipulating the mind is essentially harnessing the love's power. Because if we're not, and when I say we or we're, I'm talking about spirit. If spirit isn't in control, or not necessarily, because spirit doesn't control it, it just flows. So if us as human beings, or us as individuals, or us as awareness don't take control of the heart, we're essentially being used from a force, or whatever you want to call it, an evil has control of our hearts. And the truth is quite simple, is that if we don't have control of our hearts as love beings, or within this present existence, then something else does. It's quite simple. So if we're feeling bad, we're feeling angry, it's generally because we're stuck in the middle. We're stuck in the middle of being controlled by this evil and being true to our nature.